The next talk is on embedding privacy first, human-centric in user experience for mobile applications. This is from the Accenture labs. So we have Kapil Singi presenting this. Yeah.
Myself, Kapil Singi, and I have been with Accenture for almost now 13 years, within this industry for 18 years now. We have been working in the software engineering domain, specifically this work where we are talking about privacy should be a first class attribute, right, while designing your UI UX mobile applications. So we'll just focus. So the first thing is while designing any application, right, mobile application, and specifically the financial applications, we have seen that there is a shift from designing aesthetic applications over and above the functional applications. As we have seen in this, what you see from the news clippings from different news, right, the focus has been shifted towards UI UX, the importance of UI UX in designing such applications, financial applications, but with the recent social frauds, right, which we have seen, right, recently by using UPI QR code while debiting or crediting the amount, right? So the privacy becomes a very important attribute. That's the important point. So what you see here is the more focus we have given using the privacy designing applications is on the different aspects of it. While we have kept the privacy towards the lower end of it, our thinking more here is more on how we can build or embed this privacy as one of the first class attribute during the design phase. So some of the questions what you see here is user adaptability has been given such importance, and why are there potential social engineering frauds rising due to this UX design? What we have seen, the complex UI designing conceals some sort of information, right? Specifically in the financial context. Is the user aware about various functionalities of the application and what are the potential harm which the application can do? Is the UX designed keeping into consideration all the age groups, adaptability? Maybe an instance what we can say is some people use as a left hand while operating the device, some uses the right hand. So is the application has been designed considering those aspects in mind? So what we have done is we came up with a framework where which talks about the 5 different principles while keeping this privacy at a core. One of the principle is privacy should be a default attribute. I will not go into detail considering the time limit. Transparency and visibility becomes the very important crux of designing such applications. Make it user-centric, but include privacy as a first-class element. No more information hunt, right? So information should not be hidden within such applications. Solution experience, not just a design, right? So what are the 5 important principles to design or to keep into consideration while designing such applications? And if we drill down further into level 1, level 2, level 3 attributes within this framework, I just talk about level 1 where we talked about the comprehension while using such applications, flexibility, dependability, and then we have sub-attributes under those level. Some of the attributes what we see or we are thinking about more on the trust part where or the usability part. Some aspects is about the completeness of the information, accurateness of the information, and the user adoption. So what we have done as part of this work is we have taken a couple of applications. You will see the screenshot and you will recognize what those applications are here. But what we tried to do is apply this framework to study such applications from a design, privacy design perspective. So if you see this application 1 versus application 2, when you do a transaction, you see this type of message receive once the transaction is done. If you see on the left, technical accessibility are there, and we have given a 2. We have a scoring of low, medium, and high. So high represents 3-star here. If you see the left side, from technical accessibility perspective, we have given stars, whereas on the right we have given 3 stars, and the reason is explained there. So a user knows that this transaction and he can take a next action also based on the information. As well as you can see about the flexibility in use or completeness and accurateness of the information which has been provided there. So there are, so we have done this analysis for different other attributes. I will not go into detail, but if you see all these attributes, right, related to comparing this to applications, these rankings actually determine, based on the different parameters what we have mentioned, how these applications really performed for those attributes. And this gives you the final, maybe the evaluation of those two applications, right, based on the framework. So if you see the application 1 versus application 2 has more privacy-oriented design and the solution vis-a-vis the application 1, right? And even though if you see from the user experience perspective, maybe the left application seems more user experience point of user experience comfortable, right, or for a user, but the right application provides more information, more context, more ways of interacting with the user. So this analysis actually helps us to determine how the framework can be leveraged to assess or validate an application from privacy design perspective. So this is what we have done. I will not go into the steps or maybe the work what we have done here, but maybe from a future work perspective, we are started to continuously improve measurement techniques and methodologies. What new parameters will come into our framework? What new techniques needs to be adopted, and make this process more automated when we see a particular application. So that's how done till now. I am happy to take any questions from you.
Going into actually designing user design for senior citizens, for example, and how does that then reflect in this work?
So I think that's a good question, right? So there are different aspects on which maybe the human, right, as a senior citizen, as you said, right, or maybe nowadays even the kids start using these applications more, right? So how to see how we have to actually monitor and understand what those behaviors are, and take those behaviors into consideration while we are designing such applications. So the spectrum should be broad, if I use that word, considering considering all the users, right, or the age groups who are using this application, going to be use this application. Considering that aspect, the designing should follow that.
So any other question or comment? Okay, so Kapil, I have one quick thing. So for the privacy and again, like your accessibility, right? There are standards that have been defined. So did you take your framework? Because for instance, like the question on age group is
right.
one of the factors.
Yes.
So did you look at any of these standards or guidelines that are there for privacy as a basis for the framework?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think if you see some of the attributes, our framework attributes have been, we have actually leveraged all those literature study or the work which has happened, right, and use those to come up with this framework. So if you see the topmost or maybe the attributes, what we have mentioned here, most of the attributes we have taken it from the existing frameworks which they have been talked about.
Okay, interesting. Just one quick question, like how much of this evaluation is automatic or semi-automatic? Because
this study we just did manual evaluation, and that's what I said, like in the future we wanted to automate this by just looking the application, the flow of an application. Can we actually validate, right, or evaluate an application in terms of privacy, whether the privacy has been taken into consideration while designing this application?
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Right. Okay, let's thank the speaker again.
Thank you.